began in Tokyo. I'm eating dinner in one of Tokyo's tallest skyscrapers, 52 floors above the city's pulsating electronic light. But that's not why I'm feeling a bit high. The electric buzz from the previous night's gig is still rippling through my body. In a makeshift club-cum-fish restaurant in Tokyo's Shibuya district, I witnessed 200-plus complete strangers sweat, shake, and otherwise lose their minds to the Nordic mixes I was laying down. As night became morning, the collective frenzy only swelled. Only when the music stopped, the dancing and clapping didn't. The pitch-black room illuminated only by the ghostly glow of waving mobile phones. Yes, music has taken us to Japan, literally, but on that particular night, it had taken me somewhere much more important. A realization of just how effortlessly music can transcend the borders of race, culture, and country. How rhythms, beats, and sounds have the uncanny ability to reach into the core of every one of us and make our heartbeats a little faster. As our dinner ended, my colleagues and I discussed the profound power of music. Our conversation reminds me of a question a marketing manager asked me just a week earlier. It was, we know what our brand looks like, we have a logo and graphic profile, but we have no idea what our brand sounds like. This question would not let me go. And as the wheels turned in my head, it only led to many more questions which needed answering. Why do we humans respond so emotionally to music? How can you trademark a sound? How can brands use music to engage people in the way I've witnessed countless nights behind my turntables? Right there and then, I decided to put my DJ career and music label on hold. Instead, I would make pursuing the answers to these burning questions my only pursuit. Music is essential to life, at least one worth living. Imagine a world without music and sound. A place where rhythms, melody, and harmony cease to exist. No dancing, no singing. Nope, not even whistling is allowed. What would our lives be like if its only soundtrack were silence? It seems we humans are hardwired for music from the get-go. Science tells us hearing is the first sense that we develop in the womb. By just the 18th week of pregnancy, a fetus can already perceive the sound of its mother's heartbeat. The steady pumping rhythms gives us our first real sense of security and belonging. Music transports us to emotional states that bring us all together. We've all felt it in the way that the contagious call and response of stomping feet at sporting events transports us, or the infectious chorus which gets thousands of very different people singing in unison. Music is always tied to all the milestones in our lives, from wedding marches to high school processions to wherever our life leads us. Perhaps film and cinema offer the most tangible example of the transformational power of music. Would a love scene move us nearly as much without the well-timed smell of violins? Would a high-speed chase quicken our pulse so rapidly without thunderous drums? Simply put, music is emotion put into communication. It's what you don't see. Look around. We're a society completely overwhelmed by brands and their visual trademarks. Coca-Cola and Pepsi, Apple and Microsoft, Toyota and BMW, Google and Amazon. Today, logos and trademarks not only define a particular product or service, to a certain degree, they define the people who interact with them. Mac and PC are more than different operating systems. They represent totally different mindsets about life. That's because brands are social markers, telling the world, and to a certain extent ourselves, who we are. They're part of our identity, whether we like it or not. People are tired of advertising. Perhaps you're one of them. Each year, more than 20,000 new brands are launched, yet only a handful survive more than a few years. It's not for lack of trying, though. In the 1970s, the average person was exposed to roughly 500 advertising messages a day. Today, the number is around 2,000. But more advertising does not necessarily mean more awareness. As anyone with a teenager will tell you, attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. 50 years ago, people recalled roughly a third of the ads they saw. Today, the figure has fallen to less than 1/10. Statistics show that I will have seen over 2 million commercials by the time I'm 65 years old. That amounts to about 8 hours of advertising per day 7 days a week, for 6 years in a row. Though we're exposed to more and more advertising, we seem to remember less and less. People are in charge of the remote control. At one time, avoiding advertising required a trip to the kitchen or the refrigerator, but now, thanks to internet streaming, downloadable formats, and hard disk recorders like TiVo, viewers have the choice to opt out of advertising altogether. With a push of the button, they can skip past commercial interruptions directly to the content they want. All these new technological factors mean the old rules no longer apply. A brand can't simply throw more advertising at consumers anymore and expect significant results. To get the attention of today's newly empowered consumer, you must engage, encourage, and most of all, respect them.